Wait a minute. What the heck just happened? What did I do here? Okay, so let's do more. Hmm. Oh, here we go. Yeah, fine. Okay. So I'm just waiting for Judy to get on. And it doesn't look like anybody else is on right now either. Just a second here to find. Let's see. Trying to find it. Here we go. All right, we get some people on. Can you guys hear me? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. Judy will be on in just a second, and I'm Facebook live streaming too, so it's always confusing. It's like, wait a minute, it's been a while since I've done this. So I'm gonna go check Facebook and see if it's working on there. It's always fun. Let's see here. Let's see if it's live streaming. I never know where to find it. Okay. But I know it's somewhere on there. That stinks because I wanted to be able to pull questions off of Facebook. Let's see here. Just looking to see if I can find the Facebook live stream part of it too, so I can watch for any questions. But I'm not seeing it. This stuff confuses the crap out of me. It said it was streaming it, but I can't find it on. I wonder if it's on the front. It shouldn't be on the front page. Maybe it's on the actual PP of NC. Let's see here.
The Zoom for Facebook thing?
Yeah, because oh yeah, it's on it's on our main page. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah, it's on our actual business page. Well, that's great because that way people can see it later. People can't always see in our private group, so this is good. That way Judy can share it and other people can share it. Yay! Was it 5:50? I'm gonna go close doors. Give me just a second here. Goodness.
Haven't eaten all day, guys. I'm sorry I'm eating. It's okay. I feel the same way. I just told my husband, I'm like, speed up dinner. I had a peanut butter sandwich.
We got a few more minutes. I wanted to give everybody at least until 6 o'clock that wanted to possibly jump on. And it's 5:58 now. So how's everybody doing? Doing well? Good. I'm down at Linda's new
Good.
beach house. It's nice.
So where's
Good.
Linda?
Oh, she's in the other room. I don't know what she's doing. I hear her moving around. Her and Joe might be getting ready to make dinner. So
What's for dinner?
yeah. I don't know. I know I'm making manicotti later tonight for another night.
Ah,
So, but we got a long week of working on our business, so can
Hey,
dive
Karen.
into it. Get all our ducks in a row for the year, get everything done. So, all right, we got 1 more minute and then we're just gonna start this thing. And keep this going so I can see if anybody comments. Looks like Kimberly Good is watching on Facebook Live. I keep the volume down so that I can watch for any questions. Let's see here. And we'll give it 1 more minute and then I'll introduce Judy. Everybody knows who Judy is anyway. Oh, that's cool. It's got closed caption too. I didn't know that. Watching it on Facebook. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, it's 6 o'clock. We're gonna go ahead and start because people will probably jump in, and looks like there's 3 people watching now on Facebook Live, so that's good. So Judy is going to be doing a class for us in June for East Coast School, and I'm going to kind of let her talk a little bit about it, and then ask her some questions, and then you guys can ask her some questions. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll let Judy kind of explain what her class is all about so people know what to expect.
Well, we're gonna be doing a lot of painting, editing, and I'm going to show you how to use AI to enhance backgrounds. We are going to go photograph Gypsy Vanner horses at a wonderful location that is, I think, about an hour and 15 minutes from the hotel. She's got some beautiful horses. It's a great location that I'm gonna go ahead of time. I'm gonna come down 2 days early, go ahead of time, and kind of map out what we're gonna do at her location. Then we're gonna also be photographing some dogs, and I still need some doggy models. I would like a small dog, meaning under like 10 pounds. A medium dog, something around maybe 30 to 40, maybe 50 pounds, and then a large dog, something over 100 pounds, so that we could photograph the 3 sizes. And according to Anne, we don't need a permit at Duke Gardens.
we have one right here.
There's the dog.
Yep. Oh, how cute. Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and follow up with them just to make sure, but as of a couple of years ago, you did not, as long as you were doing an educational program, they just want to know when you're gonna be there, just so that they can let their people know so somebody doesn't bother you. So I'll have to get that schedule from you just to make sure that we can let them know an approximate day.
It's going to depend on the weather, so we won't really know
Okay.
that week. But when
Okay.
Dennis's class, we went there like 4 times and nobody said
Yeah,
anything.
and that's what I figure. As long as they know approximately the time, I'm just gonna tell them that we're here, you know, she's here for this whole week. And whatever day your horses are, I would assume it won't be that day, but any of the other days it could be. So I'll just let them know it'll be any of those other days.
Yeah, the horses will probably be Monday.
Okay.
I was kind of doing some logistics with the barn owner, and I think the class is going to we're going to head out right after lunch on Monday, and I'm not going to let them take the full hour and a half for lunch, because I want to
Okay.
get us over there.
Got it.
There's a lot of opportunities at this farm to do various things if the weather is good that day. She has an indoor arena, but I
Okay.
don't at the mercy of just an indoor arena for the whole experience.
Right.
So she's wonderful. She's very flexible with the schedule. So we should know, because we do our, just refresh my memory. Sunday night is registration. School starts Monday morning, correct?
Right. Yeah, school
Okay.
starts Monday morning.
So I'm gonna probably drive down Saturday, go to her farm on Sunday morning or Sunday sometime, and then that's kind of what I'm thinking, depending on the weather, just so I can get the horses not only photographed for her, so I don't have to worry about it during class, but also to have sample images to demonstrate on in class that are of the horses that the students photographed.
Okay.
No, and then again, weather permitting, if all goes well, I thought then Tuesday night we would do the dogs. So that Monday and Tuesday night we have our outings. And during the day, Monday, I'm going to be going over a lot of stuff. And then in the morning, we'll have lunch. We'll head to the farm. It'll probably be a late night till we get home because sunset is pretty late that time of year. So
yeah,
I'm thinking if people pack protein bars and snacks and things to have at the farm, because till we get back to the hotel, it could be pretty late,
right.
And then Tuesday, Duke Gardens. I mean, we'll be over there for a little bit. It won't be nearly as long of an endeavor to do that. During the day on Tuesday, I'll probably go into the editing of the horses, talk about, different ways to approach the different types of backgrounds that equine photographers are somewhat hired for, black background, white background, and then painted backgrounds. How do you paint a horse because the hair is short, the manes are long? How do you extract that mane if all that hair is blown around? That kind of stuff. And then with the dogs, we'll talk about how you have to shoot dogs depending on how tiny or big they are. It's a big difference.
Okay.
And then, lots of editing, try to keep people from falling asleep.
Right. Well, the day that you guys go to the horses, I'll make sure that they do box lunches for you guys to take. That way you can grab your
No,
lunch.
we don't have to do box
No?
lunches.
Okay.
No, I think if my class, gets their lunch right at 12, sits down and eats,
Yeah,
and
we'll send you first. Okay.
wrap it up and go gather up all your camera equipment from your hotel room, meet out front, by 1 o'clock. And
Okay.
that morning we'll figure out the carpooling. And once I have my class list too, I can also, set up a Facebook group or something and figure out the carpooling.
Okay.
I'm bringing somebody with me from up here that's taking the class. So I would have room in my car for 2 more people. I am from the East. I'm a Northerner. I live near New York City. So if you're faint of heart, you may not want to drive with me. There's the warning.
That's funny.
So, I would drive. Well, actually, crazy grandma was Karen, right? So when I took Dennis's class,
Oh, Karen Duty.
Karen drove. Let me tell you, she had my heart racing. So I survived. So
Good
yeah.
Karen. Good Karen. That's great.
I think
That's
she
too funny.
means Karen Bullard, not me.
Yeah, not
She didn't ride with me.
Oh, yep, Karen Bullard. Yep.
poor Karen. She's gonna be like, Judy, you're never gonna let me live that down. She
That's
didn't
so funny.
get the hotel.
Yes, Karen Duty is usually pretty conservative driver.
Yep.
That's great.
My dad was a cop. I had to be.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So does anyone have any questions for Judy?
Are these people that signed up, or are these people that didn't sign up, or?
I signed up.
Okay,
Yes,
so
it's-
for
Go ahead.
I do have questions. So I have horses myself, and I was really wanting to do like what we learned from your class, and recently I moved into a new home, and I was going to buy some horse artwork, and I thought, why? I need to go ahead and do my own and then learn your techniques to do them. So can we also bring our own images of our own animals in to paint on them?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Honestly, going to the Gypsy Vanner farm and photographing the gypsies, for some of people like yourself who has horses and has images that they're very emotionally invested in,
Right.
that's great. I mean, I 100% recommend bringing your own pet or animal images, or even zoo images that you want to work on in class, because if you're going to spend the time during class working on something, you might as well work on something that you can maybe hang in your home, or, you know, maybe it's for a client and you want to get it done while you're there. I don't care.
Right.
But for people that have never photographed a horse or have never seen a gypsy banner, it's like the fairy tale of horses. You know, they're just so pretty. So yeah, bring your horse images. I would definitely bring the raw files, and don't bring them already exported from Lightroom in the way that you think you like to, moderately.
Right, just do just strictly raw, and that way we can do whatever we want with them, or what we learn from you.
Yeah, because I prep them kind of an interesting way in Lightroom that most people would be like, oh, I never would have thought of that, because if you're painting, you're not editing them in Lightroom the way you would edit them in Lightroom for normal photography edit purposes.
I gotcha.
Any other questions?
I have a question. What type of lens do we use to shoot in arena? What length lens?
Okay, so that's a great question to ask, and I was going to actually say that next. So people think they need a 100 to 400, and you don't. A 70 to 200 with horses is actually one of the easier lengths to capture the horses with, and the reason is how fast they're moving. So if you have a horse running towards you and you have a 100 to 400 and you try to zoom out, it's harder. Like, almost think of it, it's more awkward to zoom out of a 100 to 400 when you've got a 1,500-pound animal running right at you than the 70 to 200. And the 70 to 200, even if the horse is like, I'm going to say 25 yards away from you, in most cases, the 70 to 200 is going to be easier to manage with their movement. What if they suddenly rear up on you and now you have this 400mm lens and you just crop their head off? So if you have the 100 to 400, and if you have two camera bodies and you want to bring two camera bodies and you want to bring the two lenses, fine. But don't think you have to have the 100 to 400. Honestly, when I photographed dressage at Devon 2 years ago, primarily to capture the Grand Prix finalist for their artwork for the following year, I was shooting the whole event with the 70 to 200. It is a 2.8 lens, but again, I never really shoot horses at 2.8. I try to push it to 6.3 if possible. I also never shoot under, I'm going to say a thousandth of a second, because their hair is flying. If you shoot them too slow, their hair is going to be blurry, and then you can't extract it. If you have mirrorless cameras and you can handle the higher ISOs, great. The other thing is the denoise filter in Lightroom now is crazy amazing. So like, you could shoot this ridiculous ISO that you think the image is not going to be salvageable, and that denoise filter in Lightroom will just clean it right up. I think it's better than the denoise in Topaz Photo AI. Personal opinion. The other thing is with Gigapixel, if you get this amazing image and it's in the center quadrant of your photograph and you have an older camera body that's only like maybe 32 megapixels, not to worry, because with Gigapixel, I took a photo of my new puppy. That was one of the photos that the breeder posted on Facebook. It was like 600 kilobytes. Is kilograms or kilobytes? I don't even know what is that? Kilobytes. I upgraded it in I think I first did Topaz Photo AI, then I took it into Gigapixel. I now have an 18 meg photo of this photo that was on Facebook, because she doesn't know how to get me I wanted to get the photos of him as a baby. And it turned out really well. I mean, it even surprised me. So yeah, so 7200. If you want to bring a 100 to 400, that's fine. The biggest thing I'm going to tell you that I've run into at workshops is people don't bring enough memory cards. And then they want to know where the closest camera shop is at 7 o'clock at night. I had that happen, and this woman drove pretty far to try to get a memory card, and then they didn't have the right kind, and she had to drive home. She lived 2 hours away from the workshop. She drove home to get her memory cards and come back. So
Oh my
come
goodness.
prepared with your memory cards, come prepared with an external hard drive, like one of those lacy, rugged orange things. I think a 4 terabyte is $100 or something. You know, have what you need to be able to potentially download 1,000 images if you get a little shoot happy. Especially with horses moving, you're going to want to shoot in a higher speed frame mode to get lots of shots. Any other questions? We're not using lights. We're not going to use any lights for this workshop because I want people to be able to not feel like, oh, I got to go buy Godox, or oh, I got to go buy modifiers. I want to keep it really simple for you guys because it's really, you know, I teach a lot of editing of zoo animals, and you can't take lights to the zoo. So taking those same techniques and applying them to dogs and horses is kind of what we're going to strive to do.
Judy, I'm not an animal photographer. I don't plan to be an animal photographer. I'm more interested in the techniques. How much live shooting is the workshop versus editing? And is this the wrong class for me if I'm not interested in photographing animals?
Yes.
What do you want to learn?
I just want to perfect painting, understanding more about the AI techniques.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, just it's more about the painting and the editing. And, I've been photographing for 40 years.
Right.
It's not like I'm going to go out and start a new line of photographing animals or horses. I'm actually going the opposite way. I'm almost ready to give up my outdoor stuff and just focus on my portrait work. But I'd like to be, more hands-on with the creative side of it, plus print competition.
Okay, so you said portrait work.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be nice if somebody called you up and said, we'd like our family portrait to include the horse?
Yeah.
And you could say, oh, okay, I can do this. Or are you one of those?
Or the dog.
I do dogs with families. I've done horses. I did a whole session with a girl and a horse. I'm not, I've got the experience of photographing. It's just not like it's a portrait part of my business to offer the pets and animals, that type of thing. I guess the biggest thing is I was more interested in, I had more interest in the post-processing part of it and the editing part of it versus, going out and shooting.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty much all day. Pretty much, I mean, because till we go photograph the dogs on Tuesday, it's going to be end of day. So you're going to be in the classroom all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, unless Wednesday's a rain day, Thursday, Thursday till 3, right?
4, usually around 3 or 4, somewhere around there. If you go over, it's fine.
So Lisa, you're going to have 3 days of me spoon feeding you information on editing. Is that enough?
I'm sure that'll be enough. I think it's more about I don't have nothing else to distract me, and I get to do it until I'm comfortable doing it. So that when I come home, I will do it.
What without giving away anything, but what type of images do you generally enter in print competition?
Portrait, women, children, seniors.
Okay, so painting a mane on a horse is like painting a woman with long hair. And if you want to bring images that you would not enter in print competition to class to work on,
How much?
chances are the class will, probably be small enough that I'll be easily able to walk around and give each person hands-on help on different things. The AI, integrating that into a portrait of people, they're and 4 state competitions this year did allow AI in. So it's coming. I don't know if we are we gonna have an AI category?
I can't remember. I'd have to look and see on our website.
We're not.
Oh, Chris is on there. Thank you, Chris.
Okay. So, for those of you that don't know, I was at Imaging in January and got to talk to Julianne Cost for half an hour, just me and her, bucket list moment. And she encouraged me to start teaching Firefly instead of Midjourney. So I came home from Imaging, and my original plan was the day after flying home from Imaging was pajamas, dogs, sofa. That was it. And maybe some laundry. And instead I got up, I showered, and I immediately jumped on the day after Imaging to learn Firefly. And I put in 250 hours from the day after Imaging till the day I taught my Firefly class, learning Firefly. And I will tell you that if you have reservations about AI, they're doing it the most ethically possible way. But aside from that, it's a really easy platform to learn.
Mhm.
Did you take my class, Lisa?
I have taken one of your classes with
But you didn't
Midjourney,
take the Firefly one?
not the Firefly one.
Okay.
But I did come home after Julia, after seeing her at Imogen, and I played in Firefly myself, just because
Yeah.
of hearing her talk about it.
So the platform is far easier to learn and use than Midjourney. It's
Yeah.
owned by Adobe, so that, you know, and what's interesting is, like, I tested it. Like, I tried to upload an AI generated image that I had into Firefly to see if I could modify it, and it wouldn't even let me upload it. The other thing is it has the ability to not let you become an image hoarder, which Midjourney, they save every single thing you make. You have to manually delete the stuff, you know, to not have it in your account, where with this one, you have to manually save the stuff to have it in your account. So I think for you, you'll be fine. Bring images, bring like things that you shoulda, coulda, woulda, like maybe something that you already merited in print competition and you can't enter it again. And you're like, if I had known how to do this, or if I coulda, shoulda, woulda, what could I have done with this image? You know, bring that kind of stuff. You can certainly sit there and work on humans during class. There's no reason why you can't. I mean, short hair, like on a dog, is just like short hair on a man, like a man that has a buzz cut, right? Skin on humans is actually a lot easier to paint than just about everything that the animal world will present us as far as painting. So I think you'll be fine. I really do. Any other questions?
You look on Facebook too. There's not any on Facebook.
So I'm assuming Wacom tablet, I have one, but I didn't know if anybody in the class doesn't use one. I'm sure you want them to have tablets.
Yeah, ideally you should have not only a tablet, but an art pen. They were talking about discontinuing it, and I had I don't know if you're in my group on Facebook, my Master Artist Compositing with Judy Reinford, a woman posted a link, or I then shared it, for a European based Amazon site where you could buy the art pen. So it's still sitting here. I bought an art pen from some other country. It actually shipped from the US, which is really weird, but I
So
had to buy
crazy.
it on the Dutch site. So I got it. I even bought extra nibs in case they stop making that. Here's my return label, which I wouldn't even know what to do with this. It goes to Denmark. I don't know. So, you know, if you have a Wacom, you don't need a humongous one. I have a medium pro, but honestly, I could probably get by with a small. I use about a 4-inch by 6-inch space on my Wacom, and I usually have a notebook on the other side. I always tell people it's always smart to pack an extension cord with your laptop, or if you want to bring a desktop computer, that's fine. It's just that desktop people will be in the back end of the room. Okay, so they're not blocking the view of the people up front, or you can be on the sides, on the far left and right side of the classroom. If I'm in the classroom that I was in last year with Scott, I mean, it's a narrower room. So we had a bunch of desktop computers in that room, and We just didn't have them in the center aisle because the desks held like what, 3 people per side.
I think so, yeah.
But comfortably, like if we only have 10 people, we could easily have 2 people at a table, at each table, and spread out a little bit, especially with the Whack'ems.
Yeah. I think you have 14 or 15 people signed up, so.
Oh, I do? That's awesome.
Mhm.
Oh, I love hearing that. I'm having a hard time with Glip.
Oh,
Yeah, well, nobody wants to drive to Michigan.
yeah.
Cold. It snowed at Glip last year.
Oh, yeah, ew.
Yeah, not much, but you know, it was cold.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
so yeah, Wacom tablet, art pen. You know, if you don't have a Wacom tablet or an art pen, don't freak out. My whole first year of competing in print competition with paintings, I used a mouse. And you know what? I paint a lot with a mouse because the pen makes my hand go numb. And so I switch back and forth between the mouse and the pen. The only problem is the brushes react differently to the mouse than they do the pen. And I'm going to be giving everybody brushes that are custom designed by me to use for hair. And you won't get the same results with a mouse that you do with the pen, but it's a big investment if you're not sure you're going to like it. Some people find painting to be very therapeutic. And I don't know about like some of you, but I've already sat for 6 hours straight and not even realized I didn't get up.
Hmm.
Painting, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should stretch my legs. This isn't good.
I love the tablet. I can't even do anything without it now.
So,
Oh, I know one thing. You guys make sure that you have Photoshop, Lightroom, all that stuff updated before you come to the hotel because you know it's always really slow
well,
to
that I will be very angry with you if you have Photoshop 2020 on your computer and you're taking my class.
right. Just make sure you got the updated versions.
Please, please.
Yes.
I just thought of something else. What was it? Oh, so for going to the farm, obviously we have to carpool. So if you're driving, I have your back. If you're riding with somebody else, please bring a grocery store shopping bag to put your dirty boots in after we photograph the horses, because the odds of you having clean shoes on after photographing horses is 50-50. It's going to depend on the weather. So you want to bring something, and I wouldn't bring a sneaker just in case it's wet. I would bring like a hiking boot that's waterproof. If you don't have a waterproof hiking boot, something that you feel comfortable wearing in a situation that has moisture, okay? And something that you don't mind getting manure on it because we're going to a farm. And then if you're driving with somebody, the idea is that you put on your boots when you get to the farm and you change out of your boots before you get into whoever's driving's car. So that's something I always like to stress with going to farms. You probably are going to want to wear, you know, if it's really hot, you want to wear shorts. That's fine. But I usually have a very organic, pet friendly bug spray with me that is a tick repellent as well. So we can spray down in front of the car before we start walking around. You know, sometimes there's ticks on the horses, and when they start running, they fly off of the horse's back. I'm also going to have a liability form that you're going to have to sign at the farm. And this is a horse thing. Okay. Because like when you go skiing, all right, they basically make you say, if you fall off a cliff and die, it's not their problem. Well, it's kind of like that. So 1,500-pound horse running towards you, and you're possibly wearing all black, and you're kind of kneeling down, getting this amazing shot of the horse. And the horse has hair blowing in its eyes, and it might not see you. It might run you right over. Okay. So we want to keep everybody safe. And I'm very neurotic about safety, and so will the farm owner, but there will be a release that everybody has to sign. And if you don't want to sign a release, you can't come to the farm, but you can certainly take the class. But it's a big animal, and I want to keep everybody safe. I always tell people whenever I have the opportunity, if you've never been around horses, if a horse steps on your foot, you do not pull your foot.
Right.
and you don't panic either, but you quickly push the horse and say no. But if you pull your foot, you're probably gonna lose a toenail.
Oh,
And Judy, you might, if you're carpooling and you're riding with somebody, it's 3 hours, so there and back, give or take. And you might want to just pitch in for some gas.
Yes, yes, that would be good too.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about all that ahead of time. Like I said, I have room in my car for 2 people, aside from the person that's driving with me from Pennsylvania. I'm bringing you another Yankee. Hopefully I can get her to join. Yeah, it is round trip. It's about 3 hours, but you know what? It's worth it. It's really
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, it
So,
would be good for people to pitch in for gas for sure.
Is the location, is it possible? Where's the location? I'm just wondering if some people are closer to the actual location of the farm versus the school. How is the scheduling working that it could just be, let's meet up at the farm versus
well, you're gonna be at the,
traveling?
you're gonna be at the school for the morning.
Okay.
What are you going to be going over the first half of the day?
Of day 1.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know yet. Probably probably going over the brushes, probably going over how to shoot the horses, like what to look for, in the
Okay.
posing and stuff like that, but I'd like to get everybody situated with brushes. Some people don't know how to install brushes, and I can't expect them to know how to do everything ahead of time.
Yeah.
Going over some basics with painting, kind of like my approach to how I paint, which is different than, all of us that paint do it differently.
Right.
Just kind of a ballpark of, because we don't have, like, some of the schools have that 2-hour thing on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have that. So,
Yeah, we don't do.
and I'm glad you don't have that, because
Yeah.
it's hard to expect people to jump in a classroom at 7 o'clock at night after driving all day.
Right.
So we'll be going over a lot of basic information that first day, making sure everybody's good to go, to know what they're doing in front of the horse, because I don't want somebody to be standing there like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never photographed a horse. This horse is running really fast, and I don't know what is good and what is bad. So I want to make sure people
Right.
understand what a good pose is versus a bad pose. And make sure that everybody has a really good experience. And again, even if it's something you'll never photograph, I think you'll enjoy seeing these horses moving. They're beautiful.
So Lisa, are you thinking about like going there and not coming all the way in first, since it's
Well,
like
that's
on
what
your
I was,
way?
I didn't know how the schedule was gonna play, but I was just
Okay.
thinking, if it's closer to, if it's, 45 minutes from my house, why drive an hour and a half to Raleigh and then back another?
Right.
That's what I was just thinking, but I understand, trying to get everybody situated before going out to shoot, because a lot of
Yeah.
people, you don't know the experience of your class until you get them together. It's a lot of people that have
Right.
experience and won't have, a hard time with it, and then there may be some that are totally green to being in that environment. So
What's the address for you, Lisa? Just give me 1 second.
no problem.
Are you not staying at the hotel?
I haven't made my room reservations yet. I was waiting for this class to kind of get an idea of how many nights I would need if I could go and meet the class at the farm before going to the hotel. That would save me a night, but
Well, you're going to miss a whole day. I mean, you're going to miss half a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Let me just see.
I'll be there. I'm not gonna be fussy.
Okay, let me just see the address, just so you have an idea of where we're going. I don't know it off the top of my head. It
I'm so
is,
close to the North Carolina border. It's like,
it's Reedsville.
yeah, that's probably 30 minutes from me. But, Raleigh's an hour and a half and Reedsville's 30 minutes. That was what my thinking process, if it was somewhere like out in this area that I'm closer to versus driving into Raleigh and then back out to my countryside.
Well, if you're, so you're not staying at the hotel that night, or you're not
I don't
sure?
know. I don't know. I'll be okay either way. If
Alright,
the
well-
first day was gonna be mostly shooting, my thought was I would just meet you at the farm. That was where my mind was at. If the first day was all shooting, but
But the first part of the morning isn't
if
shooting.
you're
the
really
first half
wanting
of
to
the
have
morning,
that
yeah.
sweet light at the end of the day more than it's more about that too. Planning
Yeah.
it in the day.
Yeah, we're getting there after lunch because there's things we can do in the opening to the arena that are more like staged portraits. But the other thing to remember is, depending on the weather, we might not be there Monday.
Yeah.
We might
True.
be there Tuesday.
Yeah, you might have to
Right,
be
might have to shift it.
okay, no problem.
Are these people that are here, are they already in the class, or are some of these people thinking of taking it?
Rebecca,
I'm
you're in
in
the
it.
class, right?
I'm in it, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if Alice is. Christine, she's in your class. Diana's in the class. Lisa's in the class. I think Chris Richmond just came on to listen. I don't know who iPhone is. Eric, are you in the class?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Eric's in the class. I thought you were. Alice, you're in the class too, right? She got me on mute. I think she is in the class.
Some women coming from Florida, and I have a woman coming in from, I think she's in Chicago or Michigan. She's actually coming to every single school I'm teaching at.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, you have several from out of state, so
Yeah.
okay. Well, does anybody else have any more questions? We might be good to go.
Yeah, once we get closer and I have the list, I'll set up like a Facebook group with people, so people can ask anything they want, because like, Anne said it jokingly, but I'm not joking. You better have the most current Photoshop on your computer, man.
Right.
I will not be happy with you. I will be sending you to the local Starbucks for better Wi-Fi.
Just
Right.
found out my home computer will not accept the newest download from Photoshop. I'm like, oh, you kidding me?
Oh man.
I need to check my laptop because I don't use it. The only time I work on my laptop is when I'm in a class.
Yeah, it has to do with the it has to do with the generative fill, what the
Yeah.
so I'm going to kind of go over some of that too, in case people are thinking of getting newer computers. You have to, there's certain criteria that you have to now be aware of when you get a new computer. The good news is, like, a lot of people aren't aware of this, but Apple has a leasing program for business owners. And I usually talk about that in my programs. And finally, somebody asked for the guy at my local Apple store that I deal with in the business department. And I said, well, let me ask him if he can help people out of state. And he goes, yeah, I can help anybody in the country. So then I started giving his information out. So a friend of mine in Massachusetts just got a system from him that includes everything you need for all this AI technology. It includes a 48 terabyte RAID, an extra monitor. It's a zipped up laptop, so the laptop will plug into the monitor, and she'll use the laptop closed. So it's like, picture your laptop as your
Yeah.
hard. Okay, and then keyboard and monitor. Her whole system is 10 grand, and her lease is like 2 something a month. So think about it. You're paying that per month for 3 years, and then you just ship it back and you get a new one, and you always have new technology. I've done it this way for 15 years because the computers depreciate faster than the cars.
They do.
And I was working on a 7 gigabyte Photoshop file last week. And I was pushing this computer so hard that I'm like, oh, I want a new computer. Like, and I still have a year to go. But there's things you need to know about the new technology so that you get the right computer, because you can't get a MacBook Air. not with the technology that you need for this. And you can't get away with 32 gigabytes of RAM. Nope.
Right.
So Lisa, you might want to see if your computer can even handle the class.
Well, if that one can, I'll bring my desktop, but I plan just to bring a laptop. But I'll double check the laptop because I've got a newer desktop that I'm already working with it on. So
Oh, good.
yeah, I've got 3 iMacs sitting around, but now 2 of them are just about obsolete. So I'm like,
If you own them, you could always go to one of the there's that website like Egghead or something. They can actually rebuild your computer and use what you have.
cool.
So any questions?
All right. Well, yay. So this will be on the main PPNC business Facebook group, Judy. So if you want to send anybody there, share it, you can. And I recorded this too, so I'll put it on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and people can go watch it on that too.
So if people are interested in this workshop that aren't in the PPNC group on Facebook, how do I add them to the group?
So this one, this Zoom is actually showing live right now in Facebook for the Professional Photographers of North Carolina business Facebook page. So if they go to the Professional Photographers of North Carolina Facebook business page, they'll be able to actually watch this video. The live is on there.
Okay, awesome.
So yeah, because they won't be able to get into the group unless they actually sign up for an East Coast School class or CPE, or they're a paid member. So yeah, they have to pay to go to some. So yeah, but you can definitely send them to the to our business page, and it'll be on there too.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
so yeah,
Awesome.
all right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks. We'll go ahead and end it. I'll see you later.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.